Well, how much to Southgate Station? The student asked, looking patiently at the rickshaw-man's face, and then, as if talking to himself, he mumbled, "There's a train to Incheon at 11. Is the next one at 2 in the afternoon? You'll have to give me 1,150. The fare came out abruptly before Kim Chum-ji realized it himself. He was shocked by the staggering sum of money, even though it came from his own lips. What a long time it had been since he had even asked for a fare as big as this. The opportunity to earn this money consumed his concern for his sick wife. Surely nothing would happen today? This bit of good luck was more than double the first and second together. He felt he couldn't afford to pass it up, no matter what. 1,150 is too much, the student said, shaking his head. It's more than 15, Lee. You have to expect to pay a little more on a rainy day like this, the driver said, and a joy that could not be hidden flowed across his face. All right, I'll give what you ask, the generous young customer agreed. But let's go quickly, he said, and hurried off to change his clothes and get his things. Kim Chum-ji's legs felt strangely light when he got the student aboard. He went at a run. It was almost as if he were flying. And the wheels turned so fast it was like sliding on skates along ice. Actually, the rain falling on the frozen ground had made it sleepy. The driver's legs soon grew heavy. The reason was that he was coming near his own house. Renewed anxiety weighed on his chest. Don't go out today. I'm so sick. The sick woman's whimpering cry rang in his ears. Her deep-sunk eyes seemed to glare at him in reproach. He could almost hear the wailing of the child, and there seemed to be a gasping sound, a struggle to draw breath. What's the matter? We'll miss the train. The impatient cry of the passenger barely got through to the driver. Realization came abruptly. Kim Chum-ji, hands still holding the shafts of the rickshaw, was crouched down in the middle of the road. He had pulled up. Yes, yes, Kim Chum-ji said, and he broke into a run again. The further he got from his house, the more life came back into his gait, as if the brisk movements of his legs was the only thing that could make him forget the ceaseless flow of anxiety and worry in his mind. Chum-ji delivered his passenger at the station, and when he actually got the staggering 1,150 into his hand, he had no thought for the 15 li he had splashed through the rain. He was as grateful as if he had got the money for nothing, as happy as if he had become a millionaire overnight. Several times he bowed deeply to his young customer. He was young enough, actually, to be his son. Have a good trip, he added respectfully. The trip back in the rain with an empty, rattling rickshaw didn't bear thinking about. The sweat of labor had run cold, and there was a chill welling up from his soaking clothes, which he could feel in his famished stomach, and which gave him a heightened awareness of the satisfaction and the anguish of 1,150. There was no strength left in his gait. He was huddled up as he left the station, and he felt as if at any moment he might fall down and be unable to get up again. Damn rain! Rattling an empty rickshaw back in this rain. Why does this bloody rain have to keep battering me in the face? Kim Chum-ji was violently angry, grumbling and complaining, as if in defiance of summon. At this stage, a new bright idea flashed into his mind. This is no way to do it, he thought. If I circle the area and wait for a train to come, I could get another fare. He had been so lucky today. Who could say he wouldn't have another stroke of luck? He felt absolutely sure good fortune was waiting for him. He would have been willing to bet on it. However, he couldn't stand in front of the station because he was afraid of the regular rickshaw-man. So he did what he had often done before. He parked the rickshaw at a point between the tram lines and the footpath a little way from the tramcar depot, which was opposite the station, and circled the area to survey the situation. A train came after a little while, and quite a crowd poured out in the direction of the tramcar depot. A woman caught Kim Cheon-ji's fair-searching eye. She looked like an ex-gisang or a playgirl student. She had a Western hairdo and wore high-heeled shoes, and she had a cape thrown over her shoulders. He stole up beside her. "Rickshaw, ma'am?" Student or not, she put on an exceedingly haughty expression for a moment. Her lips were sealed tight. She didn't spare Kim Cheon-ji a glance. "I'll bring you a lot cheaper, ma'am, than the boys in the station. Where are you going?" Kim Cheon-ji was nothing if not persistent. He laid his hand on the Japanese wicker bag she was carrying. "How dare you pester people like this?" She thundered and turned away. A tram came. Kim Cheon-ji glared spitefully at the people who got on the tram, but his instinct had not been wrong. When the tram, loaded to the last, began to move, there was one man left behind. Judging by the huge bag he was carrying, it looked as if he had been put off the tram by the conductor because his bag was too big for the crowded tram. Kim Cheon-ji pulled over beside him. "Rickshaw?" There was some stubborn haggling over the fare before Kim Cheon-ji agreed to bring him to Insadong for 60 jun. All day long, when the rickshaw grew heavy, Kim Cheon-ji's body felt strangely light, and when the rickshaw felt light, his body grew heavy. This time, however, anxiety ate right into his mind. A view of the house kept shimmering in front of his eyes, so that now he couldn't think of more good luck. His legs felt like stumps of trees, as if they did not belong to him, and the only way to keep them going was to drive them on and on, abusing them racing steadily forward. His pace was reckless enough to worry passers-by. How could that damn rickshaw man be so drunk and still stay on his feet in this muck? There was a somberness in the overcast, rainy sky which made it seem as if it were already close to dusk. Passing Changgyeong Gardens, he slowed down to catch his breath. Step after step, the nearer he got home, the more he felt the strange calm penetrating into his mind. This calm was not coming from any sense of security. Rather, it was springing from a fear born of a vivid realization of the imminence of piled-up misfortune. He was writhing, trying to prolong the time, at least a little, before he collided with calamity. He wanted, if possible, to hold on for a long time to the joy of earnings that amounted almost to a miracle. He craned his neck, searching in all directions. He gave the impression that he was completely powerless to do anything about his legs, which were racing towards his own house, that is, toward certain calamity, and would summon anyone grab him, save him.